There's all this candy too. It's like this is a feast.
We're live.
We're live. Oh, that makes sense.
It's not
All right, ladies and gents, welcome to the December 2017 Dinner with the Devs. This is Dwayne with Schell Games here. We got a couple things going on today. We got some delicious dinner from Noodles and Company, again, which we paid for. They didn't supply, not yet. But thank you, Noodles. We got some pulled pork mac and cheese, some green Thai curry, and then whenever our devs are done eating, we're going to start decorating some gingerbread houses. So you can get a chance to see our decorating skills whenever it comes to our arts and crafts, and get a chance to ask us a couple questions, and we're going to talk about some events in the studio. But first, we've got some new faces, so we're going to start on the far side, and they're going to tell you their name and title, and we'll get started.
Am I on the farthest side? All right.
You are.
He's technically farther than I am.
You're far enough.
All right. Hi, I'm Anisha. I'm an advanced designer at Schell Games. Obviously.
Hey, it's Mike again. I'm an advanced engineer at Schell Games.
Hey, I'm Max. I'm a game engineer.
I'm Chris Hatch, a game engineer.
I'm Dan, I'm an advanced artist.
Dwayne, marketing team.
And back here is Mike D.
Santa Mike.
Santa Mike, all right. So first, want to talk to our devs about the new, Star Wars movie. Who's excited about that? Who's going to go and see it?
I'll see it
Nice.
Christmas.
We're all
Is it
thinking,
today?
just gotta stay spoiler free.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be hard mode.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no spoilers in the chat if you've seen it.
Yeah, please.
Spoilers in chat is a bannable offense. Don't be a jerk before the holidays.
Santa's watching, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I'm actually going to see it tonight around 10:15, 10:30.
No
So
spoilers.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I will come back and spoil everything. So what are we looking forward to for the new movie?
I heard they've got like a tiny a penguin thing.
Porgs.
Porgs, yes, that is the thing. I hadn't heard the name before, but that sounds right.
What
Are
about
they-
the crystal
super
fox?
weird.
Are they penguins or are they? They're more like puffins.
They're more like
Yeah.
they're like
pugs.
gerbil birds.
Gerbil birds.
Someone did say that they were puffins and pugs mixed together. That's what I got
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
Puffin pug.
That's speculation.
Puffins and pugs.
I mean, they got the big
Almost
eyes and
like
like
they were
goofy
designed for
face.
memes.
Yeah, they got permanent frown face.
Almost.
Almost.
They're definitely not. I don't see a penguin resembling.
I mean, they've got like little wings that go like.
Puffins have
Do
little
they?
wings.
Although penguins can't fly, and apparently.
People do
porgs
confuse
do.
puffins with
Oh,
penguins.
spoiler.
Sorry.
Spoiler free
I have
zone.
no idea. I can't believe it.
So sorry. Should I leave?
Maybe,
Is that
Mike said it was a
bannable
bannable offense.
maybe they put them in an X-wing and they can fly.
Okay.
R2D2 can fly in that way. Not a
we got
spoiler. I don't know if
someone-
that's
R2D2 could fly no matter what because he's got the jetpack.
Damn the prequels.
How terrible is that?
Baron, be careful, buddy. Yeah.
Are we streaming this on Twitch or just YouTube?
This is YouTube.
This is. Am I like
Is there
all
a
in
link
the?
that I
Yeah,
can
totally.
forward
Yeah.
around to people? Give
Yes.
that RT. Have we tweeted it out?
Schell Games just tweeted it.
All right. I will find an RT.
The RT what?
Yeah, I think the URL of whatever the stream is.
Oh yeah.
I think the studio in general, we have a lot of Star Wars fans,
Ooh,
so
yeah.
people
A
are
couple.
very, very excited about it. And yeah, I can't imagine anyone in the studio is not going to see it at some point. So
They would have to be like making a point not to. I feel
yeah.
like.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I know one person.
Who's not gonna see it?
Yeah, who's not going to see it. Who are they?
Yeah. Yeah. Shame
I'm
them.
not gonna name no names here.
Not publicly.
You know,
I'll
This
find
isn't
out.
public at all. You know who you are.
I see this.
You
but
know
I
who
don't
you
see
are.
Streaming.
Anyway. Yeah.
Oh, that's
really,
funny.
I really
So-
just want to see BB-9E.
You want to see
I want to see
BB-90?
BB-9E and BB-8 like face off
Oh,
Yeah.
with each other.
That's 5 hours.
90s, he's the
Oh, come on in, River.
evil, you're absolutely right. The evil one?
Yeah, the
Yes.
black. He's like black and he's got like.
Yeah, step over the
angular
board.
head.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess
Was it
Sure.
No.
River, say hi to camera.
Oh yeah.
Good to see.
BB hate.
BB-9E.
You know, to be fair, we shouldn't assume it's evil.
That's
Just
true.
because
If you
it's-
wanna-
We shouldn't assume that Kylo Ren is evil.
Yeah.
Ooh.
technically.
Okay.
Can River be seen like?
I don't know. Let me look.
Probably gonna be a little bit rough. Can we scoot down a little more?
No.
Yeah.
We
Should I
should.
do a
Yeah.
scoop?
Let's unbox just a little bit, just for a bit.
Yeah, give me that.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
Can we get some of these other boxes out of the way?
Really dangerous.
Are you eating?
No.
You just
I'm
hear
done.
text. Oh, you're done eating?
Oh, still
No,
can't
I'm
see
gonna
you?
share
Can we
stuff.
keep moving a
Mr.
little bit?
Professor.
I see Rivers, my coffee mug floating.
What?
Keep moving over.
There we go.
There we go. All right. So,
Looks like
another cool thing.
Yeah, that looks exactly like me.
Another cool thing about the studio and our excitement about Star Wars is that something came out a couple weeks ago called the Jedi Challenges. And we were we're proud to say that we worked on the lightsaber duels with that. So that was really exciting.
Yes,
Uh,
we made lightsabers go woo, and then you hit people. It's really good. I can't sell it any better than that.
You get to live your dream. You get to fight really cool villains from the Star Wars canon. So you go from, and we go pretty chronologically. So you go all the way from Darth Maul. If you're a fan of the cartoon series Clone Wars, we have Seven Sister and the Inquisitor. We have Darth Vader, of course, and we go all the way up to Kylo Ren. And I'm fine for now, but okay.
There's
Yeah.
new characters in the game.
Ooh.
Are we allowed to? Sorry. Joe?
No, but
I just leave that.
you should definitely check Lenovo's Twitter page for updates on Jedi Challenges, because it is an exciting product. Get to live your AR Star Wars dreams.
Everyone's AR Star Wars dreams.
Yeah, that's right.
Just gotta share this, and then I can put the phone away. Sorry, I'm very rude.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. No, I was really excited about the challenges. I mean, it looks amazing, and looking forward to play all of it. I was only able to play against Vader. I haven't played against the other ones yet.
It's really hard though. Like it made my thighs sore.
Yeah.
Like it's a very like physical, active game. So much of it is like
You need to dodge.
like dodging and like ducking and those types of things. So like, I remember like there was a guy on our QA team, Bob, who like had to stop playing the game during QA because he was so tired.
You know,
So we had to like take a break.
He
and
went
come
really
back.
hard all day. Like, bless him.
Yeah, we have a bunch of difficulty modes. So on easy, the game's not too bad, but as you ramp up, the combatants get harder, they get faster, and I believe Bob was trying to beat the entire game in one sitting.
Oh my god.
Because part of QA is like you need to test like, oh, someone might actually try to beat this game all in one sitting, and that took a lot of time. And it's a very active game. You gotta stand, you gotta move around, you gotta dodge. But that's part of the fun of being a game dev. So, and actually Max and I were both engineers on that project.
True.
Oh, cool.
And we have people at the studio who are way better than us. We can't even really test it anymore, to be honest. We get a couple of employees at the studio like Doyle, who is a UI artist, and Abby, who is a technical artist, and they both have. Doyle does martial arts, and Abby, I think, has like fencing experience.
She
or
has
something.
fencing experience, but she's just super active. She like runs 80 miles a day or something like that. She's
Yeah.
She used to ride
that much,
horses.
but
Yeah.
So
She
she's
is physical.
those are our two go-to in the studios that play any of the hard mode characters, because we're not beating them.
They are the Jedi Masters. We are like the guys in the room in the Death Star where we press the buttons and then things fall up.
We have the weird. Yeah,
We got weird heads.
we
Yeah.
got weird.
Well, one of us more so weird head than the other.
That was good though.
Yeah.
So Super Voodoo asked, could he fight hordes of people like Wii Sports Resort Swordplay?
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
You take this.
yeah. So Jedi Challenges is actually a bunch of games in one app. So we worked on the dual package. So that's us doing one-on-one battles with all those Star Wars villains, iconic Star Wars villains. But there's other parts of the app. So we worked. Other teams were responsible. There's an RTS-like mode about strategy. And there's Holo Chess, which, if you've ever wanted to try playing Holo Chess, you can play that on the app. And there's also what is called Assault Mode, where you go through sort of the more traditional waves and waves of different enemies.
Yeah, it's like battle droids and stormtroopers, is that right?
Yeah, there are stormtroopers. There are, the battle. Episode 1, Roger, Roger, battle
Yes.
droids.
Yes, they're my favorite.
Yes,
I love those
everyone's
guys.
favorite. So we didn't work on that part, but it is part of the Jedi Challenges experience.
And that's part, one of the cool things about working at Schell is like often we're working and helping other studios on their projects. We're not, game development is a really big endeavor, so it's pretty rare now to have like just one single studio working on a larger project. A lot of times you'll have 3, 4, sometimes games have like 20 studios working on nothing we're working on, but
I mean, the thing that we just wrapped up for another
Oh, yeah.
client, that was
Oh,
like
yeah.
17 studios.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there was a lot of people in that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yep.
Very cool. So, let's see, Baron asks, did you guys have to invent Hollow Chess, or has there been a pre-established real-life game made around it?
I can also answer this. So the rules for Hollow Chess were sort of invented. If you have, it's sort of like if you ever watched if you ever, this is going to be a digression, but Quidditch.
Yes,
Quidditch
Quidditch.
is- yeah,
Off topic.
Quidditch in Harry Potter, there are rules described in the book. If you ever try to actually play Quidditch, the rules don't actually really work.
Because you don't have rooms.
Yeah,
Well, but also like the snitch being 150 points.
It is
Yeah,
a little
Ridiculously unbalanced.
Yeah, it's a game written for story convenience, not for actual balance or gameplay. So, because, Harry is like, because he's a seeker, you want the snitch to be really important, so it becomes this game-breaking mechanic. So anyway, the analogy here is like, when you see, this is so weird, if you've ever watched professional Quidditch, they've changed the rules dramatically to make the game actually balanced and fair. And same thing here with Hollow Chess. If you watch the movies, anytime they see Hollow Chess, it seems like all you do is you move a character to a space and they kill that character immediately, which would not be a very interesting game. So they've added a bunch of different rules for it. So it's based on different characters and such. So we did not, again, we didn't work on that part. That was something designers at Disney did, but it is a new game that emulates playing Hollow Chess while trying to make it an actual fun thing to play.
And actually, there was a Quidditch World Cup in North Carolina while I was teaching down there. And I use it as a case study for my sports and entertainment marketing kids because you have so many different populations who are interested in Quidditch, and then you have a tournament around it. Incredibly fascinating. Super weird.
One time I was in Chicago, and I was there with my fiance, and we were walking through Millennium Park, and then we were seeing a bunch of college kids running around. And it's like, oh, I wonder what sports they're playing. And we started approaching. It's like, man, I don't see a ball or anything. And then we saw the 3 hoops, and it's like,
Yes.
oh,
It's going down. Oh, very cool. So, I talked a little bit about Jedi Challenges coming out, and whenever you Anisha talked about how it was like hurt you whenever to play, and it immediately made me think of Super Hot. And, just you playing a couple levels and you take the headset off, you're just drenched because you're working so hard.
Yeah.
So it kind of brings me to my next question with all of you guys. I've been going around with like the whole media, articles and everything. What do you guys think has been the best, either the best game in 2017 or the best VR game in 2017? VR AR game in 2017. I'll give you options to do both. Best game overall or best VR AR game.
Star Wars Jedi Challenge.
See, that was a layup. You nailed it.
Yeah, crushed it.
Stream over.
Yeah.
available in Best Buy stores everywhere.
I mean, if you want to go and get everyone's game of the year and like maybe start on that end, I feel like we've
Sure,
been
yeah, go.
dominating over here.
Yeah.
Oh, let's start over here. Try
Yes,
to
dominating, huh?
Yeah.
Want to hear from River? River, scoot over.
Oh, yes. Speed over some
I
more
mean-
river.
Oh, yeah.
Still can't see.
I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, so I would say that. I mean, it's such a fun game to find all the bugs and play it.
So you said Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed?
Oranging, the new one.
Yeah,
Or, yep.
Very cool.
haven't played it yet, but it looks good.
Yeah. Geez, I don't know.
Ask
You
the
asked
question.
him.
I know. See, I moderate. I don't plan to answer my own questions. Let's see. I go. I mean, I think Jedi Challenge was actually really, really cool. So I'll go with that set. That'll be mine.
This has to be games that we played, right? Or
As opposed to,
came out.
As opposed
Oh,
to
just
what?
things you know of? That
Yeah,
you've seen
well,
and
I
haven't
mean,
played?
like there might be games I plan on playing, but I just haven't gotten to
Well,
yet.
you don't know if that's your game of the year then, because you haven't played it.
are you talking to one?
Sometimes you can tell. Sometimes you can tell.
Well, what's that game you're talking about?
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the
Okay, I
Wild?
was waiting for
Played it?
someone to say that, because holy crap.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but what about games that you have played then?
Let's see. I guess a game I actually enjoyed recently was West of Loathing. It's like sort of like a stick figure RPG.
Yeah, that was by the Kingdom of Loathing guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Old school.
Also, maybe Splatoon 2.
Oh.
Pretty fun.
Yeah, for me, it's either I really like the story in the new Wolfenstein. It feels like you're playing a book. I think I've said this before on the previous live streams, but yeah, the new Wolfenstein, like it was the first time like I really felt like I was either playing a movie or playing a book, and there was actual stories and characters, and they actually were properly propped up and explained. Because a lot of times it's just like, hey, I'm average white dude who's in the military. All right, we have to go to this location. I died, and then you never see the person again. You don't care about them, and then you just do whatever they said to do. But in Wolfenstein, it's more like they're actually building characters, and then you actually are playing through that, and it's really cool. The other one would be the game that from the Limbo guys. What's the new one? Inside.
Inside.
I would say
Oh.
Inside is really high on that list. Like it feels so long ago because it was earlier in the year, but I would say that's pretty high up there. I love the art style. The story, even though there's not a single word spoken in the game, gets a little weird at the end. But if you avoid that ending, everything else that was perfect. So I really like
But
that.
the weirdness is good.
The weirdness is good in its own right. Yeah.
way, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna spoil it. You need to experience that. You're like, oh, this game's been pretty good, and then what is happening? It's like the last mission, and yeah, or mission level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a weird one. If no one else had said Breath of the Wild, I would have said that. But now that Breath of the Wild has at least been mentioned, maybe PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds at PUBG. It just
That has to be mentioned too.
I have a T-shirt that's the Jeep from PUBG with kitties.
Oh, so cute.
It's very good. It's a good game. Desert Map coming out. Mallorca? No, it's Monongahela.
That's a
Monongahela.
That's the river.
around here.
Yeah, it's
That's
something
the
with an
river
M.
outside.
It's coming out soon. And I'm looking forward to playing it.
I mean, if it was a Pittsburgh match, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Pittsburgh Unknown Battlegrounds.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't gotta even change the title. It's
Yeah.
still true.
Yes,
Still
it'll be
PUBG.
Still PUBG.
Still PUBG, yeah. It's hard for me to say just one game. I'll try. I won't. I have a
Games of the year.
Every year I write like a list of. I try to do like 12 favorite games I've played. I'll just say like I guess my top 2 or 3. So I know Dan's already mentioned Breath of the Wild. That's definitely up there. But out of the Nintendo games, actually, I think Super Mario Odyssey is my favorite game that Nintendo's released this year. So I've had a lot of fun. I talked a little about that last stream, I think. So yeah, that game is really amazing. And the other game I wanted to mention is by Supergiant called Pyre. And that is a really gorgeous, weird mix of narrative visual novel adventure and basketball.
Yeah, it's like a
Fantasy
sport game.
basketball.
It's weird.
That was
That's
not
not
the
what
word
you
I was
meant.
expecting you to say at
That's the
all.
last thing.
Not in the slightest.
Because you're basically playing a coach of a weird fantasy basketball sports game.
Literally,
And it
yes.
literally is basketball because you have a ball that you need to like pass to other players and shoot into the pyre or the hoop or the pyre in this
Could be a
case.
goal. Could be like football.
Yeah, it could be soccer, I
Could be
guess,
soccer,
but
yeah.
football for all us
International.
non-Americans out there. But yeah, those 2 games are probably the favorite games I've played this year. Also Hollow Knight, but Hollow Knight's so cute. So.
So cute. Owners.
What about the game?
Oh jeez. I feel like I haven't played a lot of games this year. Like Breath of the Wild sucked up so much of my time that I like, didn't pay attention to anything else. And I guess Nintendo does that in general because I'm currently obsessed with Animal Crossing.
Okay.
And it's like every 2 hours I'm like, okay, I need to pick my fruit. Like it's like a thing. It's an addiction for me.
Gotta pay off those Tom Nook loans.
Good jerk. But I guess like I have to be a little unconventional because I'm a little bit of an unconventional designer too. A lot of what I do here at Schell is location-based stuff, so I have to say favorite location-based attraction of the year because it's just as relevant to me. And honestly, like Pandora, Animal Kingdom, like Flight of Passage ride. If you guys have enough money to do it, go to Animal Kingdom like at your first possible opportunity and try it out. It is the coolest, most innovative ride system I've ever seen. It is just mind-blowing how immersive it is. So
what makes it so cool?
Yeah, I want to hear more about that.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I've never heard
It's
of it.
Pandora.
Unless it's a
Like,
spoiler.
like Avatar. Pandora?
Yes, exactly. So James Cameron's Avatar.
Disney's Avatar.
Yes. Not Disney's Avatar.
Nickelodeon's Avatar.
Yeah. They created the land in Animal Kingdom that is the Moara Valley, which is the area that they had in the movie. The Na'vi lived there, and they were overrun by greedy Earthlings. like generally speaking, like we kind of mess that up. But in Pandora, it's sort of many years after that, and the valley has recovered, and you walk in and you feel like you're in like a national park. It is like so, like the sounds and the smells even that they have in that space is just, it's very, very immersive. It makes you really feel like you're not on Earth anymore. But the Flight of Passage ride specifically, if you guys remember from the movie, instead of being a human in the Na'vi culture, you become an avatar, or like you link to an avatar, and so you're you can walk around as a Na'vi person, and you can ride a banshee, which are these sort of like gigantic dragon things, and you can fly them around in the Moara Valley. And so in the ride, you get synced to an avatar, sit on this sort of simulator ride vehicle that's sort of like a motorbike with like a bellows in the center.
Oh wow.
And there's all of these sort of like motion systems like attached to the stomach area, and so you can like, you're like bending forward and holding onto these handlebars, and like the beast is breathing underneath you with these like with this bellows system, and so you're staring at this huge like ginormous screen with 3D glasses, and you get to fly around in the valley as though you were linked to an avatar that was riding a banshee.
Oh wow.
And it is beautiful in every sense of the word.
That sounds
So,
crazy, yeah. Wow. Mike, any of your favorites?
Oh, I'm too busy making games to ever actually play games. Kind of sad, but I did get a chance to play. Well, that's like cheating. So I will mention that I did get a chance to play a sit-down cockpit version of Crazy Taxi, and it was really awesome. I never got to do that back when that was a thing, and I really loved it. I did get a little bit ocean sick, especially when braking though. So it's just,
Yeah.
be careful.
Cool. So, what types of games are you looking forward to in 2018? What type of game concepts would you guys like to see in 2018? What are your thoughts? Who would like to start? Well, River, you're leaving us tomorrow. We'll talk about Krampus in a second, but tomorrow over her last day, and she'll get to experience Krampus on her way out. So that's interesting.
Not scary at all.
It's not scary. Well, it's not scary. It's fine.
It's fine.
But,
It's fine.
That was the game of the year.
Krampus.
So, what are you looking forward to seeing in 2018?
I actually don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know they were making games anymore. I thought it was like,
Just stop.
yeah.
That's it. The end.
we're done.
Yes.
Or anything that you would like to explore in 2018?
Explore? I mean, I downloaded a bunch of games in my Steam account. I would like to play them all. I never had a chance before, but winter is coming.
Winter is coming. That's true. Winter's here in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that's my big plan for the winter.
Okay.
Games.
Cool. Well, for me, I'm more of a board game person. Any hype for Mega Man 11? Well, we'll talk about that. There are a bunch of, well, I bought this one board game whenever I went to GDEX, the Game Developers Expo in Columbus, Ohio, and it was a turn-based strategy game called Nika, off of like Greek for victory, and it's you pair up against armies of Sparta and Athens, and it's like a super long game. So I'm hoping I'll find some people over winter break who's not doing anything, and we'll just get a nice long strategy game going. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm excited for Mega Man 11.
Are you, Mike?
Yeah, Mega Man's one of my favorite franchises. So.
Oh yeah.
Yep, big Mega Man fan. Almost all the Mega Man series too. But I'm excited that Capcom's actually going back. So that's one of the games I'd be looking forward to in 2018.
So is it gonna be like a 2D?
It's 2D,
like old
but
school?
yeah, but it's not good. It's gonna be 2.5, so 3D models.
Gotcha. So it's not like the Sonic thing where they just
No, it's not like Sonic Mania, but I think they're trying to emulate that sort of
throwback style.
going back to a classic game while trying to bring it forward into more modern sensibilities.
Neat.
Mm-hmm. So that'd be my answer for this question.
Cool.
Dan?
I have to think about this. Yeah. I'm not sure. I feel like a lot of games that I was looking at came out in 2017.
But have you played them all?
No, I have not played them all either. So maybe the games I missed in 2017.
The games you missed. There you go.
Yeah.
Before we get to Baron's question, we'll
Yeah.
keep going first.
I'm actually curious to see what developers do with AR. Mainly, AR Kit's been out since September, and there's been some cool apps and games that have come out with that. But I think experiences like Pokemon Go will be really interesting to see if anybody utilizes the now actually good AR solutions that we have. And AR Core is going to be out of beta sometime next year. So that'll be available to Android users. So there'll be 2 mega platforms with a lot of AR. And I'm just really curious to see what happens. Yeah, because we made Domino World for AR Kit, which is a very micro experience where it's dominoes on the table and it's really cool. But I could see a lot of that's my main curiosity, because I know what I would do if I had infinite amount of time. But I want to see once a big name developer gets it in their hands. So
You mentioned Pokemon Go, and there's the new Harry Potter
Yeah,
version of it.
Harry
I'm
Potter
really
Go, or
curious if
whatever
that's
they're
going
gonna
to
call
use
it.
any of the new technology. I
Yeah.
I
Is that
am
out?
reserving so much judgment
No.
on that because
Okay.
I'm
afraid.
really so am I. I'm terrified of it, but I'm hoping that they use some of this new technology to make it really cool.
yeah, because you can merge so much more with your environment around you. I don't know, it could be really, really good or really bad.
See, I'm not even afraid if it's bad. I'm afraid if it's good.
Sorry, I can't come into work today. Got a Quidditch match at 12.
I mean,
I've been accepted.
I like
into that
Pokemon
person.
plenty, right? But it's Pokemon Go is is this really a thing I want to take my phone out all the time and just wander around cities and stuff too? It's I could give that one a miss, but if it's some Harry Potter stuff and it's got if it hits the right buttons, then it's gonna be oh man.
Yeah.
I gotta,
Quit your job and
Nice,
live in
nice on
poverty.
you.
I gotta learn a new spell. It's all the way across the river. All right, I'll be back in
Yeah,
30
see you
minutes,
guys
guys.
later. You and I
Bridge
will be
takes
doing
too
that
long,
together.
just
though.
dive into the water.
Yeah, that's right.
You just freeze the water on the screen, but then it's still long though.
You'll love it until the game arbitrarily goes oh, you're Hufflepuff? Minus 100 points. Thank you for some reason. That's
Well, I think that reminds me. I saw probably on Twitter, someone was saying the founder of Hogwarts was talking and they said, "All right, we know there are 4 types of kids: brave, evil, smart, and miscellaneous." And then someone else says, "Yes, continue."
Oh no. That makes me so sad.
I'm a Hufflepuff. Just throw that out.
Hufflepuffs are my favorite. I wish I could be a Hufflepuff, so badly.
I'm proud of it.
What are you,
They're
Ravenclaw?
No, I'm a Slytherin. and
What?
Whoa, what?
Whoa.
I'm not evil. I'm not a mean person.
Why do I even keep Slytherin house around?
Oh.
They're not all evil wizards.
Evil kids are.
They're not all evil wizards.
Yeah, things escalated quickly. Right. Well, Bear will take your question. He asked, he likes Book of Lenses, which is our CEO Jesse Schell's book. Art of Game Design, a book of lenses, and he's curious if we use the Deck of Lenses app. If so, how? Is it spontaneous whenever you're stuck, or do you have a process? I have an answer, but I'm wondering who would like to take this. Anisha, would you
I mean,
like to?
I don't use the app, I use the cards.
Mhm.
I have 2 sets of the cards at my desk, actually, both editions, I guess. And I use them a lot, especially early on in projects when I'm trying to figure out, like, what is the story of this thing? Or like, it honestly, a lot of times it is when I'm stuck on something and I can't figure out what to do, and I'll like go through the deck and be like, okay, this is relevant to my project, this is relevant to my project, this is relevant to my project, and then literally use them as lenses and think about it from that perspective. And usually, like, I think just the different framing of it or the change of reference is really helpful to think about it from a think point of view. And that usually gives me at least a direction to go and explore. So I don't think my phone is compatible with the app because I have a super old phone. But I like the cards personally. I think that they're really helpful in like pre-production.
Cool. Anybody else?
I don't use them personally. They're better for designers than engineers for a lot of things. But I know another designer at the studio, Charles Amos. When we would, like every morning when he would come in, he would again use the physical deck of cards, but he would draw 3 of them and use that to sort of, he would think about them a little bit. Maybe they wouldn't directly guide what he was doing, but he would definitely, make that part of his daily ritual just to be aware of the lenses as he's moving around his day.
Cool.
I'll throw out there that I don't use them regularly, but I do. Someone did make a Twitter bot that tweets them every so often.
I remember that.
And I follow it, and I do like to see cards from the deck of lenses pop up in my Twitter timeline. They are fun little nuggets of game design wisdom. And it's a nice break from the terrors of my Twitter timeline. I recommend following it.
Yeah, that's right.
You and the deck of lenses are the only bright spots.
Aww.
There you go.
That's nice.
Yeah, I know, sitting in a couple of brainstorming sessions, a lot of us, again, I think there's a thing, we like the physical cards. We each get, 4 or 5, and whoever is moderating the brainstorm asks a question, and we, pick a lens. It's like, okay, well, just like what Anisha was saying, he's like, what's the story? We go through those questions and we look at it in that, through that lens, like, is this something is it a story that we are able to tell, or is this a tool that we're able to use and use well? And so I think they're really, really good for brainstorming again in the early part of the process. Any other thoughts about that?
I think also like in the middle of production, if you run into a roadblock, like coming back to those, like especially if you picked some during pre-production, as sort of like guiding pillars, and then using those to sort of reflect on like, oh, like I don't know how this particular mechanic is supposed to work, or my engineer is asking me how something should be implemented, and I'm like, there's 2 different ways to go, and then I go back to those things that I chose earlier and use that as reference to like guide it, so everything feels more cohesive, versus just sort of making decisions on the fly.
Yeah. Very cool. Let's see. Super Voodoo. I'm currently trying to do accessibility testing with one of my games. I'm having trouble finding play testers with disabilities. Any tips on that? That is a great question. I know we did, accessibility testing with I Expect You to Die, because per some, I don't think it's the ADA, I'm trying to remember what the right rating agency is, but we had to make sure that that people are sitting down in wheelchairs, or people who have problems with their hands, that they're able to use at least 2 of the actions with one of the controller, if that makes sense. And so how they got with that testing, I'm not exactly sure. I wasn't involved in those. Nice. I wasn't involved in those conversations, but if anybody else has done accessibility.
Yeah, I'm curious about the specific audience that you're looking for, because I know that Some places use like local schools to sort of farm is the wrong word, but like to find people who will play their game.
It's fine. We can know the designer terminology.
Sorry. But like, I mean, in Pittsburgh at least we have like a school for the deaf. And like, I'm sure there are other similar like focus schools you can find that might have it, or like that really only works if you're looking for younger playtesters. And a lot of what we do is for younger audiences. So I know that that's something that we looked at a little bit when we were doing, for example, like the Children's Museum of Houston project. Like we had to think about accessibility testing. They ended up doing a lot of it on site because they sort of just like pulled people from their pool of visitors. But I would look locally and see if there are any sort of organizations or schools or things like that might have like outreach programs.
Yeah. And the thing we found is like when you go, if you're looking for specific demographics or groups of people, yes. And you approach them nicely and you just ask. People are often really willing to help out with play testing, to give feedback. You know, it's really exciting for them because a lot of times people don't reach out and don't ask them to try something out or for their feedback on stuff. So if you just find those, like Anisha was saying, if you find those groups there, like again, it could be schools, it could be different programs, especially community programs and organizations are really good. Look on Facebook or even, I know we've done looked on meetup.com for local meetups, like for things like that. Those will be your best places, and just reach out directly to the organizer to get help.
So I hope that answers your question at least a little bit, Super Voodoo. If you're able to do any more, give us any more information about your games, that we could give you some more tips. If you're comfortable in doing that, please do. Right side up, those sweaters aren't very ugly. Well, ugly is subjective, right side up. So what you might consider pretty, other people don't. So.
Ravens fans hate that sweater.
Oh yeah, that's right. Raven fans would hate this sweater. That's very, very true. All right. Thank you, Voodoo. You have a good day. Need at least 33% more. You're asking a lot, Baron. But one thing that we are going to do tomorrow, and maybe do some Facebook Live, is to show you what happens at Krampus.
Oh boy.
What Krampus is, and a part of Krampus, it's our gift exchange. And what part of Krampus is, you need a lot of flair. And flair can be very pretty or very not. But for some of our Krampus vets here, who would like to go into a little bit more detail about it?
No one wants to talk?
Well,
I'm not
So
super into
So Krampus is Schell Games' version of sort of a white elephant, or I guess white elephant.
Nasty Santa.
Yeah.
Another word for
So
it.
I'll be honest. Krampus is what happens when you let the designers at Schell go a little crazy.
Okay, well, to be fair, the person who leads Krampus is the VP of Engineering.
True.
So let's be
Krampus does have its roots
fair.
pretty firmly in engineering.
Oh, does it?
Yeah,
Okay.
That is true.
So my team would know the most.
Maybe more about
Yeah,
engineers trying to design.
Yeah, there you
There
go.
we go.
There's the commentary.
Engineers trying to be
That
designers.
is fair.
Well, okay, I'll maybe it's what happens when you let game developers go a little
There you go.
crazy
Okay.
and build a very intricate series of rules
Rules,
for
rules,
how
rules.
exchanges and steals and all sorts of random events occur.
There is a wheel of spinning.
There's a wheel spinning. I think really the joke is that it's an incredibly overcomplicated, completely unfair game of exchanging gifts.
There's lots of yelling too. Like I find every single Krampus at the end of the day, like I just can't talk anymore
Yeah.
because I've been screaming at too many people about either stealing stuff or like the unfairness of it all. Like just
There is also like beer. Matty D made Jello things last year. He's probably gonna make Jello things this year. It finds its way out. Yeah. it's like-
Sean was in there
it's
making frozen margaritas.
So it's the holiday party for this.
For tomorrow.
So, I think the number one rule is just like White Elephant, don't get too attached to the gift.
Oh.
You never get the gift you want, and you will probably not get even the top 10 gifts.
But sometimes people will sympathize with you, and
Yeah, it's
There's
true.
like a black market after Krampus.
That
Like
is
that
true.
people are like, I know you wanted this and I wanted that thing, so we're gonna do like a 3-way trade. Is that cool? Like, and people will just sort of get together and figure stuff out.
That is an apt comparison there. Yeah.
You get it. Yep.
I had the bottle of scotch last year, up until
Oh, that's
almost
right.
the end. And then Charles, that designer with the cards, he
Yeah,
stole
so-
the scotch.
So if people don't know, so the way Krampus works is everyone gets a number. That number indicates the order in which you get the gift. But every time you go up and you get a gift, you also spin a wheel, and that wheel will have random outcomes that go from causing you to lose your turn, or forcing you to pull out a random event from a deck of cards that will have various, like, very specialized rules that may involve stealing, trading. There are people who will sometimes be given the ability to trade or steal at any point. And then there are blocks to, on top of all this, other people can block, and blocks can be blocked and so ad infinitum until, and it's based on like number of flair you're wearing. Sometimes it's based on seniority. Sometimes it's
So
based on.
I think we're missing a key point here, is that there is a person at Krampus who is appointed as the Krampus. And he or she, this person, gets to wear a weird hat
Mhm.
that has
Krampus
been worn by
hat.
many, many people and never washed, just pointing that out. But this person basically gets to make up whatever the rules they want at any point in time.
That's true.
And
anytime
they
it's
are the
ambiguous.
right, like they are the
Yes.
judge of the
Judge of-
festivities.
Judge and jury.
Yeah, and so like, for example, like you were mentioning the flair aspect of it, like part of this is if you try and steal a gift, for example, someone can block you from stealing that gift. If you're not wearing enough flair, or the Krampus at any point in time can say like, no, you're not allowed to do that, you don't have any head flair, or those types of things. And so they have like full jurisdiction over everything that happens here, and they do like to stir the pot, which is also very frustrating unless you have an in with the Krampus, which is very difficult to do.
I think Kyle was a good Krampus.
Kyle was a very just and fair Krampus.
He was good. He was good.
It
Chris,
takes,
yes. He is the goal. Real quick, before we continue, Andrew had a question. Were there any Star Wars Episode 3 moments in the Star Wars game?
Well, they're younglings. See,
No,
no. That's a lie. There is not. There's Darth Maul is in it, but he's not in Episode 3. Do we have anyone from some of the prequels?
so there are no dual lists from Episode 3. There will be, in the other modes, there are references to it.
So
But-
like a ground
Yeah,
battle?
but you're not fighting, there's no like a Count Dooku battle or anything, unfortunately, so. Mhm.
Can only do
Yep.
so much.
But we do have characters from the prequels and from the Clone Wars, so you are fighting characters who would have fought a teenage Anakin, like Anakin Skywalker and so on and so forth, so.
Okay.
You can save every youngling. Darth Vader, this is not a spoiler, he's definitely in it. So you
Yeah.
can save the younglings from him.
Oh,
I
apologize.
don't think that's canonical.
Listen, he's just trying to
These
live his
views develop.
dreams. I just want to make dreams come true.
These views
Can you
represent
play as Jar Jar
others.
Binks?
Yes,
You
but
can
not
role
in our
play.
game.
No, you can role play. You are never told who you are. You could be Jar Jar Binks picking up a lightsaber.
That's absolutely true.
That is
Yeah,
true.
that's very true.
Jar Jar.
Dark Jar
If
Jar.
you decide to
Dark
play
Jar.
that way, can you please send us a video?
We want to see you with the headset and the lightsaber and saying Misa Jar Jar Binks. That's
Yeah.
all
That's
we
all we
want.
want.
Misa Force.
Promise to retweet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, at Schell Games, please. Are we ready to start decorating some
I think so.
gingerbread houses?
I've already eaten like half a bowl of Sour Patch Kids.
Nice, let's bring them out.
All right, I'm
Let's see,
going
let's
for
get-
ugly
let's get
Christmas
one
sweater
for
cookies.
River.
We should probably,
We have enough space.
Oh, there's one right there. Yeah.
we could probably move this stuff out.
Yeah, you can move that stuff out. We could use this whole side of the table. Oh, that's empty. Here, use this one. And I'll just move my squares.
There's the.
All right, so now what we're doing, we're getting ready to our little gingerbread house decorating competition.
Competition?
Yes.
Yeah, let's make it a competition.
All right.
Yeah, let's get it.
What are the
Oh, man.
rules?
The rules are, let's
Krampus
see.
decides.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we'll let
There's
all
one
you
for everybody,
guys
right?
go, and
This is gonna be.
you know, if our viewers can take a look to see who's doing well, and towards the end of it, let's see, it's
Head
6.
start.
Yeah. Well, they're actually all pre-made, so you have all the decorations in front of
you
you.
don't get to cross that together.
No, well, you can put more frosting in if you want.
Can we tweet a Twitter poll at some point? Have people vote on
Yes.
Twitter
We
poll?
sure can. Yeah. Yeah, I'm down with that.
On this table.
Where did this from?
Where's what?
Where did this come from? Does this fit
The
that?
vinaigrette.
Oh, there was a vinaigrette?
Oh, other way. There you go.
Obviously.
All right, so as our devs get ready, or to just get started, Mike, you're gonna do this too, right?
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
Well, someone has to
What?
type and
I'll type.
yarn things. Oh, you don't want to make
Oh,
Alright, cool. I'll do it.
Cool. And then I could do the Twitter poll as well.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
There's so much stuff in here.
Apparently, Baron wants a Notre Dame from us. Exact replica.
Well, unfortunately, the houses are pre-built,
And
Yeah.
that's so sad.
so.
I know, my apologies. I did not think meant pre-built as in it'd be like a exact house.
But they do come with little people in it, so we could maybe make you a hunchback.
Can we chisel the houses apart and try to reassemble them?
You can do whatever you want.
Probably. I mean, yeah.
We have another box.
Questionable whether it'll come apart nicely. Holy crap!
There's many things.
Yeah,
Many things.
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to clear.
Gingerbread.
Yeah.
I remember it differently.
You can't sing it the real way.
No, it's copyright.
It is.
It is.
Probably.
These lights? They're like.
As long as you didn't, say more than 15 seconds of it.
Yeah, we're probably fine.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try and say more than 15 seconds. I think, you know what, I'm happy with where I landed. I'm gonna lean stuff on yours, Chris, until I get.
Yeah, you got this.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's a lot of frosting.
So you got frosting, you got all the candy,
Yeah, we
at
got
your
some icing
disposal.
in there,
We
and
got nozzles, we got red, we got green.
there's people
I
and
mean,
doors.
it's a house per
and
person,
doors?
right? Are we making a house per person, or are we doing any collabs?
Do we have enough houses per person?
We have 2 more.
Yeah, we have a total, we have a
There's
total
another
of
house
8.
on your chair, we got
Yeah, we got
houses
Houses for days.
Houses for days.
for days. Alright, we got squirts.
These
We
are
got,
like cobblestone. These are fancy houses, you guys.
Where can I sit?
They are
You
they are
stand.
like
Okay, I need a drink.
swanky
even
neighborhood
know.
houses.
alright,
That's what's happening.
There we go.
I feel like I need like a cutting thing.
Man,
Yeah,
he's already
it was
frosted
not-
on.
I just use money.
We have some nails going on.
They're
It'll be easier.
This is
Yeah.
mine.
The board.
You got your stuff over there?
Yeah, I'm almost right over here.
I don't want to steal anything, it won't be fair.
Baron's asking, are any one of you going to GDC?
Yeah.
I will be going to GDC.
Yes. A lot of us.
Many people from
Yeah,
Chicago
awesome.
do.
You going to GDC?
I don't know this year. I haven't been for a while. I used to go every year.
Yeah.
But it's been a while.
It'll be my first GDC.
Aw.
Don't you want to witness the miracle?
I want to witness the miracle. If
You've
you
already
unite,
seen me incredibly drunk.
that's true. That's true.
I'll do it here.
Unite.
Hashtag United.
Hashtag unite. Oh man.
This is not.
Supplemental candy too. Wow.
There's nothing quite like watching somebody who makes this really awesome tool in Unity and then not seeing them in any professional fashion whatsoever. It's quite entertaining.
It was great. I don't have a whole lot of like super firm memories, but I do have a picture of a picture you took.
Yes. But specifically a picture of a picture because you didn't want me to send it to you. You wanted to take a picture of my phone of the picture.
I forgot to tell you, there's an epilogue.
Is there a reason?
No, there's an epilogue to that story.
Okay, yeah.
I was
Maybe
looking through my Snapchat.
they realized
photos,
that people
and
don't
I had
know
also
things.
taken a picture of that. But I did not remember that I had taken that picture. So when
Ah,
you showed me the picture, I was like,
Yeah.
this
Not
is
open.
great. I
I
should
don't
have
want
taken
to-
a picture of
It's
this.
not anybody.
And I have. I cannot.
I'm
not open.
here. Wait.
Send here, hand me that dull knife.
Did you not get that on the end?
I tried. It's just all stretched. I'm a child.
Alright, I'm imagining the door should not be on the
There's a
story.
specific side for the door.
I think
to
the
go
front.
on.
I think it's this front
Yeah.
corner.
We shouldn't look at
But
that.
maybe this side. No, that's
You
all I
wanna-
know. I'm just gonna put it
What
on the
are you
roof.
doing?
Yeah,
Mine's
well, I
already
want to see if I
cracked.
can take it apart.
Oh.
All right, Baron's asking for the guys who've gone before. What do you think is the most useful?
I got
That's a
nothing.
good question.
Ooh.
The networking?
Networking, maybe.
What are you going for? What like,
Yeah.
are you going to meet people? Are you going to talk to different companies? So are you going to just improve your knowledge of the industry?
Oh yeah. That's
One of the big selling points at DEC is obviously the talks, but there's also a pretty extensive career fair booth section where you know if you are looking for a job in the industry, you can go. You can have if you have resumes and portfolios. You can just walk up, and a lot of companies they'll come
Doesn't matter.
and they'll take a look at your resume. They can give advice, and sometimes they'll say, "Hey, do you want to talk right now? We have someone in the back. They'll bring you back, and they might do an interview right then and there." So, if you're trying to break into the industry, that's definitely one way
Yeah.
of going about it.
Yeah, GDC is one of the bigger ones. I've never been personally, but I know people have gone and I know about the conference. It really is like, do you want to, you can promote a game there, like if you have something to promote, if you have either yourself to promote, or if you want to learn something, or if you just want to check everything out, or network for potential opportunities and jobs, all of those are options.
Okay.
What happens to your dull knife, Max?
Yeah, do you have
I
scissors?
can open.
Yeah.
Pass it down.
Take away as much as I can.
Sorry, that went flying.
I don't know why I passed it back to you.
Because I am now the keeper of the map.
Wait, I need to get something more. Oh, you have to cut off the tip.
Yeah,
You're a designer at an indie studio. Oh yeah. So then, yeah. So if you want to improve your skills as a designer, you definitely want to go to GDC for the talks.
Anyone else need a snip?
I will need a snip, but I need to reorient my situation.
There's a lot of, obviously there's a ton of talks from different designers and different groups. So that'll be really important. You should also look out for roundtables. So roundtables can be really cool because they tend to focus on special topics and issues, and they also let everyone have a chance to go in and say something, give you a chance to all sit at the same table as other designers that you might know and want to hear about.
So sugar. Love it.
And
Is it good?
I assume these caps go on here, right? Like this or something.
Yeah, that's if you want to like do fancier tips and you can make stars and stuff.
Circle tip. I guess this is star tip.
Yeah,
Get in there.
so can you break it apart, or did you give up?
I gave up.
It looks like yours is more easily broken apart.
Mine's sort of pre-broken.
You can.
That's awesome. What you want pre-broken.
Maybe I should. Maybe I should at least try to smooth out the
Pre-built,
Throw it on like
pre-broken.
sandpaper.
All right. Wait, which is the front and what is the back?
So there's a side where there's like.
That's like
Oh,
the door
like
hole.
there's not a door.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the
The
front.
door side, I guess.
There's no door, right?
Classic door side.
You can decide where the door is.
All right. So what are these for then? Oh, these are like.
That's for fancy piping.
That's for fancy piping.
Yeah. If you want to like get, yeah, if you want to
Oh,
get
are you
fancy.
trying to-
Chris, the cake boss over here.
The cake box.
That's right.
Are any of you in that thread for the the Great British Baking?
Yes!
I don't filter off topic, so
Oh
yes.
my god, I love that show so much.
I wish I didn't filter off topic, but
What's the big deal?
So how do I open
So
this?
the best part of that show is that it is technically like a reality competition show, but everyone is so nice to each other all the time. That it's just the most pleasant thing to watch.
Okay.
And they all like encourage each other and they're really happy and like the competition is just very civil.
Doesn't sound like a competition then.
It is a competition.
But I
People
really
like get eliminated and there's winners and stuff.
Oh, that's sad.
It's also really inspirational. I guess there's just a lot of really cool baking on it.
Is the bacon good?
Yeah, the baking's great.
What tip is
And so
that?
like, I know,
That's just the
so much
default.
for me is like
Yeah, I can put.
wanting to see what
Yeah,
different people
like-
try and make.
Alright.
Yeah.
You just
You just snip the
Is
end of
it
yeah,
different
just enough to get
contestants every
something
time,
out.
or?
Every season has the same contestants, but so it's like
So everyone wins.
no, it's like 12 people start and one person's the winner by the end of the season.
Is it elimination style?
Mhm.
what do we got here?
So it's sort of like
It's like Survivor.
okay.
It's like
I was thinking
Survivor,
like
it's nice.
the Amazing Race. Or something.
Oh my god, my bag broke.
Oh no.
It's just like a huge hole in it.
That's it's gonna be messy.
So we have many
Here, if you wanna
decorating
do
kits as
the real
well.
stuff, you can
If you
do
need
this.
additional
I'm
frosting.
just doing like structural.
Oh, you're supposed to need this for 1 to 2 minutes apparently.
Oh, okay.
That explains why it's so very hard to get out of the bag.
Well, I'm sure it'll be super easy to need now.
Mm.
So fair enough, should you go to other disciplines like production and hear from them? What do you guys think?
If this is your first GDC, my advice as a GDC vet is your first GDC is going to feel really overwhelming, and there's going to be a zillion things you want to do.
Just chill out.
You should do, well, yeah, so relax. What the best thing to do is, yeah, we linked to the scheduler already, is just find a schedule, try to find, here's like 3 or 4 sessions I definitely want to do every day. Don't try to fill up every moment, because you're going to need time to eat, and eating can take a while because there are a lot of people in that area, and it'll take you time to get food anyway. But also you just need time to relax. You want to give yourself time to go to the conference, to see cool things like the IGF, the Indie Games Festival. They showcase all the games there. They have Alt Control GDC, which is a cool exhibition that showcases games using weird controller inputs. Again, looking at the career fair and just talking to people. And then also, you should definitely keep an eye out for, as you get closer to GDC, there'll be a bunch of, if you're on Twitter, people talk, there's I think it's like GDC_ parties. A big part of GDC, as people have mentioned, is networking. So you'll want to keep your evening open so you can go to different parties and see and just meet and talk with people. So that would be my approach to a first-time GDCer.
Any other advice?
What are the best bars, Mike?
Have fun in San Francisco.
Yes. Oh, yes.
San Francisco is a beautiful, wonderful city, and if you've never been there, bring a jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good advice.
It's really cold.
This
San
is
Francisco gets cold.
oh,
I went without the first time and I had to buy one.
Or you could, yeah, you could buy a jacket. That would be cool too.
That'd be pricey.
Still warm.
It was expensive.
10 out of 10.
It wasn't coming out.
people underestimate how cold it gets in the evenings.
I thought California was warm.
It's a little colder than hoodie weather.
It's oh, can you pass this?
Like you'll probably need a windbreaker.
6,
Yeah.
at least.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
Sweatshirt
just
that
the-
you can take on and off as
Just the
the day
wind off of that
progresses.
Bay Area.
Yeah.
That fog too.
But that fog, though.
I sat
That
back.
fog, though.
I don't get it.
Here, you can.
No, it's just like you're not gonna be able to decorate anything with a jag either.
I'm going to the red and green, okay?
You're going to the red and green.
Yeah, I mean, you can use it a little bit, then I'll use a little bit. I'm not going to use this entire bag of frosting. I'm not an
That's
animal.
what you say now.
You're not
Those
an
are
animal.
Oh, I see.
How does
I don't know, I
it?
guess
I
it
can't
is
even get
Is
my
that
thing out.
easy?
You have to cut the chip.
I did cut it.
You didn't cut it.
Oh, there-
What is this?
Cut-
Is
you
this
have
the
to cut it
sidewalk?
right
Well,
below.
initially,
Oh,
no,
No,
that's
it's a chimney.
This
Oh,
chimney.
okay.
that's the chimbley.
Chimney?
Yeah,
The
Oh.
Yeah.
Here?
from
Wait,
Chimbley's
Oh, wait.
List.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah, crushing it.
Good job.
Newfoundland, the Scandinavia of Canada. No worries on jackets. Yeah, that's. I
Nice.
mean, Canada's kind of like Newfoundland. Well, no, San
What?
Francisco is kind of like
What?
Newfoundland, but there's a bridge. I assume.
That's the only difference.
I have never been to Newfoundland, but I do know there's a bridge in San Francisco.
It's been newly
I think
found.
just people tend to think like, oh, I'm going to California. I don't need to dress warm. California's sunny and beaches all the time. No,
Not
that
in
is
San Francisco.
That is
only
exactly
along the
what
coast.
I thought.
And I guess San Francisco's on the coast, but
It's in the bay.
in the bay. And the bay is cold.
The locals all thought it was hilarious and cute that I happened to find it.
Who thought it was hilarious and cute?
The locals.
The
I thought
locals?
it was cute.
Oh man, what is this? This is like berries and.
I don't know, guys. It looks like River's getting it.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
I don't know. Dan's looks really good too.
He's piping over here. He's got like shapes and stuff going on.
Oh, I-
Whoa.
That's my
Hold it up
first.
to the
Yeah.
camera. so that people can see what
Well,
a
I'm
real
on the
game
other
artist
side.
can do.
I'm on the other side.
Dan's Iron Chefing it.
Alright. What am I gonna do? I feel like big old pile of flapjacks.
What?
That's
Never
what you
mind.
feel like, or you feel like doing?
It's a movie. Never mind.
Well, so far, one person got a vote and Max is winning.
I'm voting.
Come on.
That's voting for
cheating.
me. That's-
I don't know.
Wait, hold on. Anisha or River? That's
What? What are you talking about? it only allowed 4 entries, so I had to combine.
Who am I combined with?
The mics.
Alright, vote for Team Mike. Even
Are
though,
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Are these Christmas lights?
Yeah.
or maybe not
That's
Team
why I got
Mike,
them
I don't
strung
know.
on the top of my house here.
I feel like I'm done.
They're open.
Oh, are they not?
What?
Yeah, just.
I'm so
I mean,
weak.
mine's open.
Do you need to cut it? Yeah, cut it.
Think of it.
Ah, so
Alright.
weak.
What are you talking about?
Alright. This Chimbly is falling over.
Does this icing taste any good?
Oh, it
It's,
is.
it's delicious.
Probably gonna
Very
take
green.
sugar.
The white is delicious. I mean, if you like sugar.
I feel like
Okay, this is a
if
little
you don't
red
like
line.
sugar and you're making a
I
gingerbread
feel like
house,
I'm painting a
Yeah,
strange
probably it's not
picture
gonna
of what is
end
That's,
well for you.
that's right. It's not gonna be good.
All of my bags are opening in the wrong direction. Leaking from the back.
Oh no!
Oh, wait, we have
Someone sabotaged
I don't
the
know,
show.
River. I paired Anisha
We,
with
we
you.
have
so.
another box.
I
We
am
should,
not.
should we just
having
break into that
another-
other box and
Uh,
these
there-
things?
There are mini boxes somewhere that had additional icing.
Yeah, there's like these. There's
Oh.
one on. I rested on the window
Yeah.
over
Oh,
there.
does this have additional ice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna jump ship on this.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Grab
My
some
chimney
ice.
is falling. This is a horrible.
Oh, you're trying to make a chimney?
Yeah, that's what it is.
It comes with a chimney.
Ooh, this one has white icing now.
This has white
And
icing too.
oh, those are cute. They're like ornaments.
Alright, gonna do some emergency chimney repair. Gonna need someone. Can you brace my? Oh no.
Dribbling?
What do you need bracing?
Here, just hold this.
What are we talking about?
Just put on a big old squirterino of icing. Oh yeah.
What's your squirt soon?
Yeah, that was. I didn't like that.
What do you think? Is that an option?
I think you're good. There you go.
Even distribution.
You could use Swedish fish as support beams.
Oh, Swedish fish.
It's
You have
classic.
Swedish fish.
Sure, that's a treat.
Hey, that's
Is that a pun?
good.
This is good.
You went Art Institute, right? That's what you get. from
That's right. Yeah. That sucked at drawing.
Yeah.
It's all about 3D.
Yeah, it's about that 3D art. It's about that icing.
That icing.
All right. What can I do to save this trash?
I
What are these?
I don't feel like these are the most.
I just make it a
structurally
unicorn?
sound.
Yeah,
I don't think there's gonna be enough support there.
you just gotta.
All right, we're gonna try and make this a
All
unicorn
right, let's
house.
try using this other.
But as you're watching, you can probably see the difference between designers and engineers.
What's the difference? Man, Mike, yours looks good.
Oh,
Nice.
Whoa, nice
Yeah.
done, sir.
yeah.
Thank you.
I'm just trying to get my
Engineering.
to stand up.
Mm.
I don't think this is gonna work at all.
What are you trying to do?
We're
Yeah.
trying to make it a unicorn house using the chimney.
A unicorn
Alright.
house.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna
I'll
stay.
put these
You
tiny
need,
trees.
I think you probably need to cut like
Something
dig
and
in,
like.
dig it in a
Oh.
little.
Oh no.
I don't know if that's possible because the gingerbread feels very,
scoring it.
very
hard.
hard.
All right, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, you need like a kind of chisel.
Although now it's on the wrong side for it to be
You're
on the
getting
on the
into
roof.
power tools
This,
territory.
this chimney is sliding. Cannot add enough
Alright.
icing to save this.
Oh man.
That's a nice little holly thing there, or a Christmas tree.
Yeah, it's a Christmas tree thing. I don't know. It's something.
It's good.
It's something, all right. That's for
It's
sure.
very Christmassy.
And don't forget, you
It's
use-
to hide the crappy piping at the bottom.
Oh, actually, I didn't notice.
See, you didn't even notice
No, I
it.
didn't notice it. 'Cause of
It worked.
You use any of the
As
candy
designed.
that's there. I see Anisha using the, what were they? Were they mini
They're like mint patty things.
patties?
is
That's
this?
what they were.
They
I
don't
need
have
to,
any
like,
Christmas
saw
lights
off.
I can borrow.
Here.
Anybody dive into that?
I can take it.
Yep. I'm not gonna use them.
All right, cool. Thank you.
I
I should
have
have just done the fish.
I have a vision.
And it doesn't.
It doesn't involve Christmas
All right,
lights.
that's
It
fair.
involves a lot of M&Ms.
What's the difference? Oh, the glass.
That's the only difference between.
Wait, what?
Christmas lights and M&M?
Yeah, it's the glass.
That's where it begins and ends, the differences.
Listen, I'm nothing if not Thora. Well, I'm other things.
I put one of my Christmas lights in backwards, so I have to quit.
This poor chimney. It wants to escape this roof, but I will not let it.
What are you trying to do?
I don't.
3 hours later,
know,
this
I'm trying to
chimney!
save it.
How hard is it to put
Oh
a
wait, I
chimney
could
up?
actually use like.
Listen, why don't
Actually
you
really
try
hard.
it,
Is it?
guy?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about on the gingerbread house, but in reality.
Oh, in reality, yeah.
That is serious work.
How are you even gonna get it all the way up there?
As long as we're here.
Helicopter.
What about favorite holiday film?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Die Hard.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, is someone gonna say the thing? It's like, yeah.
Yeah,
So we just like, we're just going in.
You know,
It is a holiday film, isn't it?
oh, well, that's another
That's a
argument.
good
Someone was arguing. There's a recent film going around on Twitter where people were arguing if it was a Christmas film or not.
John Wick.
No,
Yes. Boss baby.
no.
No,
No.
not
Man, my
Bob
kids
Baby.
love that movie.
Well, there are
Your
children,
kids like
so-
John Wick?
No,
You're questioning your parenting skills. aren't you?
no, they hated it. They cried through the whole thing.
Why? Can we stop? No.
No, watch it.
Keep
This is
watching.
what life is like.
dog.
This is what life's like. 1-to-1 with everybody's
I'm
experience.
gonna. What am I gonna do here?
Oh, yeah.
Smiley face.
Batman Returns. Christmas film?
Batman Returns.
Yeah, it
That's
takes
only
place
Christopher
during
Nolan.
I've
Christmas.
only seen it during Christmas.
It's both wintry and it takes place during Christmas.
I didn't know that
Alright,
the DC
Baron-
universe had Christmas.
Baron's trying to vote.
Aw, it's definitely Christmas-ish.
Christmas is real until Hans Gruber falls off a building. I
Die
think
Hard
that's
is a Christmas movie. Christmas isn't real until Hans Gruber falls off the building. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Baron needs a reintroduction. He needs a clarification of who's who so he could vote.
Everyone is Mike.
Lies.
Very clever, very clever.
I'm trying.
Alright, my name is Dan.
What? My name is also Dan. It's very weird.
I'm actually Mike.
Yep.
He is. Actually.
I'm Mike also, so if you like either of us,
My middle name's Mike, so go with that.
It is?
It is.
I know 2 Mikes and a guy
Oh.
whose middle name is
Welcome
Mike.
to Team Mike.
welcome to Team Mike. if for people who might not know, Schell Games has 7 people named Mike. So,
True.
They're all wonderful.
Well,
whoa.
Well, on average, there.
We
On
have-
average, we're pretty,
we average out to one decent human being.
on average, we're pretty good.
well.
All right, Baron's also asking, what's the best Christmas present you've ever received?
Ooh.
Ever received? That's a tough
Die Hard.
You actually get
Box
that
set.
as a Christmas gift once, or are you just saying things?
I'm just saying some things.
That's what I
The
thought.
best Christmas gift I ever got
Terrible.
was when I was in 1990, it must have been 1992, when I got my Super Nintendo. If anyone's seen like the N64 Kid
Yeah.
video, I basically have, I don't think my parents had a camcorder back then, so that memory is just in my mind now. But I basically had victories. My parents
They don't
told
wanna
me
stay.
I ran around the house for about a half hour just celebrating. So that's my favorite
Yes, take it. Do you
Christmas
want-
gift.
I've got the like the little square thing on.
Oh, I can.
I was pretty excited when I got my
I can't
Wii.
take it off right now.
Ooh.
Okay.
That was definitely a Christmas gift, and I was of an age where I did not expect anyone to run out and get me a Wii, but my wife gave me a
Oh.
Wii. So I was totally surprised and shocked because it was very difficult to get a Wii that Christmas.
Yep.
Yes, it
And I
was.
just thought like, oh, I'll just get one next year. I don't really care that much.
But you did.
But
I
deep
remember-
down, I did care a lot, and I was super excited.
My Wii Christmas story is on Christmas Day they didn't have a Wii for me. They were, real difficult to find, but they had Zelda, which I was like, okay, cool. And they're like, we're gonna get you a Wii just as soon as you can. Just call every morning, and then day after Christmas, call into my local GameStop. There used to be stores where you would buy games. It was like you could get stuff on Amazon, but not everything. Anyway, called into the local GameStop, and they're like, yeah, we have 3. You can come right now. And I did, and I got a Wii, and then I played Zelda to the exclusion of the friends and family who you're supposed to spend Christmas with. But it was worth it. So good.
Mhm.
I asked my parents for a pony, as a typical young person would. I asked my parents for a pony, and then they put a stuffed horse in my stocking. And that
Aw.
was how they decided that I was going to get a horse.
They were
Not,
happy about
not a
that?
real horse, a fake horse. I mean, I was at the time, because, like, kids like stuffed animals. But then later, when I realized it didn't mean I was getting an actual horse, I was
Oh,
no. It just took a little while for me to realize it.
They're like, no, that's the actual horse you're
Wait, did you actually get a horse?
No.
Where does the chimney go?
Oh, okay.
It goes wherever you want it.
That was the horse you got.
Yes, that was the horse that I got.
I would have felt mocked and upset by that. But I was a difficult kid.
I really like stuffed animals.
Yeah, I like stuffed animals too, but I would have felt like they were making fun of me, which is dumb. But that's how I was.
Didn't you become vegan to spite your parents?
No, I'm a vegetarian.
Sorry, vegetarian. to spite
Okay, then
your
yes.
parents. My mistake.
Just wanted to clear that up. That's
No, that's fair.
Vegan.
no, that was only like maybe 80% of the reason.
The other part was you like animals.
Yeah, I like
Whatever.
animals.
You like, I'm fine.
You
I don't-
like them
it's-
or whatever.
In all honesty, I have never liked eating meat even as a little kid. So it was not hard to stop.
Yeah, that's Santa.
It feels like my roof is bleeding. This is not going as
See, I
well.
was trying to make my roof bleed, but I couldn't figure it out. Let me show you what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, the sides
Kinda
are
does
much.
look- yeah,
We're just
it
It
making
kind of
it
looks
look
like, yeah.
It's too late. I can't pull back now. It's like,
It's like
Gotta
Amityville
lean
horror.
into
yeah,
Yeah.
I made my decision.
You gotta go for Christmas creepy.
Yeah, horror,
I love
horror.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
I don't know what the age of the people watching this stream is, so I want to ask this question because I have a theory. So, I've seen, we all know the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, the
Jim
classic, yes, yes,
Carrey.
the classic 2003 Jim Carrey Ron Howard film.
Wait, what?
Yes,
I did a Ron Howard.
I thought you were talking
he was
about
the
cartoons.
director. No, I want. So based on what I see whenever I read the YouTube comments for that film, I think a lot of kids. So full disclaimer, I do not like the film, the live action version of A
What?
Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
I've never seen it.
Oh my God, it is not good.
You don't
So good.
But I believe there are a lot of people now who grew up with that film, and that is now a Christmas classic to them.
Interesting.
Yes.
Those people are not
Just
my
like Shrek.
friends. Is
Shrek is a
Shrek a
Christmas
Christmas
classic.
movie? I don't feel like Shrek.
No,
is
just a
Christmas.
classic movie.
Just a classic
Obviously.
movie.
Like a B movie.
Somebody once told him.
Don't you dare bring up B movie.
Hmm.
I was watching the thing where it's a B movie, but every time they say the word B, it gets faster.
Oh, I love that video. I mean, I hate it, but like, oh, it's so funny.
It's great.
Isn't it great to think they made an entire film based around a bad pun?
I mean,
It's a B
Isn't that-
movie,
isn't that how all
right?
movies are started?
the first, so they don't say B that much in the beginning, or you can still understand why they're saying B. So like you can still hear some of the corny jokes. So like at the beginning, Jerry Seinfeld's character is the like main B guy. I don't know, he probably has a name, but whatever.
Have you guys actually watched the B movie?
Yeah, I saw it in
No.
theaters.
Yeah.
What? Max!
My family really liked Jerry Seinfeld. We didn't know it was horrible.
Okay, so it's a family thing. It wasn't like a, well, I have money. Let me just waste it. Let's go see B-Movie.
Have you ever thought how crazy the plot of that film is?
No, like it wasn't until like I was watching that I remember it's like doesn't he like fall in love with a human
Well,
woman or something?
that's
I
not
keep
a,
thinking it's an allergy commercial whenever I see it on television.
yeah.
'Cause it's like
Really, really
it's
bright.
bad CG where a bee and a human being are interacting with each other. Like,
Oh, that's weird.
No, the important thing with B, everyone needs to. So yes, it's about a bee who is played by Jerry Seinfeld. And it's like, oh, I want to be more than just a normal bee. So he goes out into the world, and then he runs into a woman, and he befriends and also falls in love with the woman. And that's not the weirdest thing, because the whole point is the plot of the film leads up to him realizing, because of Ray Liotta honey, that there's a product in the film where Ray Liotta, the actor, has a line of honey. I guess it's supposed to be like
say-
Newman,
This
you
is
know?
a Ray Liotta as himself kind of
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Sort of like Newman's Own, but with Ray Liotta. That's the joke. That's literally the joke. And you realize it, and Jerry Seinfeld's bee character realizes that humans are harvesting honey from bees, and he goes and he sues the world for all the honey they have taken from the bees and wins.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Wait, is this the actual premise?
This
of
is the
movie?
actual plot.
Yeah,
this is the
what
actual
happens
plot of the film.
in the
Did you
movie.
just spoil the movie?
Yes, I just spoiled
Not
it.
too hard.
Listen, if you had wanted to see B movie, there were like 6 copies of it flying around last
No,
year.
yeah, and I don't want to watch
Well,
it.
no,
Speaking
what
of
was it?
Krampus
It was
shenanigans.
6 copies in the script, right?
There was there was
Oh, no. There was, yes.
I had forgotten the script, or
Someone
blocked
printed-
out, or tricky, you know,
It came
one
with
of
the
those
movie.
things. All right, I'm liking where this is going. This looks
It's
like
going pretty
something.
good.
This looks like
Yeah,
something.
yeah, it's working.
I just want to let everyone know that my gingerbread house is going to have candy from the floor on it, so,
Okay.
don't eat it unless you're okay with that.
My chimney has slipped down about a centimeter since it was first put up.
That's good. My chimney
Not
hasn't
bad.
slipped at all.
As it
Yeah, that happens with real chimneys.
no.
That's why they need to be, what, repointed at times?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
As it turns out, icing may not be the best
You want it?
You
foundation.
gotta hold it there so
I
that
think
it
there's
dries
another
a little bit.
box
There is,
somewhere,
there
man. if you
definitely
want
Alright, you
in.
guys,
No,
I
that's
have
okay.
a,
I
got a
came in to
refill
look,
over
these things
here.
look pretty nice.
We have
But,
the-
Well,
it's getting
good
pretty
ones.
toasty in here. Your racing might start.
It is
Oh.
getting hot in here.
Yeah.
Maybe we
The
should
icing
open
is
the door.
is water based, so it dries.
Well, what, we were
These are
just saying, yeah, Max's
Gingerbread
chimney
house,
is
we didn't have to assemble these. They were pre-assembled.
They
Come
come
with the icing and everything?
Yeah, they're
then it
like,
comes
this
with
icing is
for
rock hard,
decoration.
it's been on there for a year.
Probably.
It came out of the
Allegedly.
box like this. It's also affixed permanently to this cardboard.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
You can take it off.
Oh, unexpected.
Yeah, Rivers is off.
What?
Oh, you ripped yours off the cardboard.
Well, I did it.
Dwayne ripped yours off the cardboard.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you can't rip
So
it
it
off
might
the
not even be
cardboard?
icing at all.
It's just concrete.
Yeah, I mean,
I
Or it
you
can
wouldn't want to
be.
eat it even if it is. It's very, very hard.
Oh, how do you move it off?
Unless you
That sounds like a
candy.
challenge. That sounds like a
It probably isn't meant to be, because like, these obviously seem like they're made for
Oh, wait. Oh, no, the foundation is
decoration and
breaking.
not
Yeah.
like, decorate and then eat.
What
Yeah,
cause
no,
that?
this would be really bad if you ate it.
Oh,
boy.
But they smell good.
It's gonna end terribly.
I feel like, yeah, this is... Wait,
Nice
something's
and quick.
happening. Oh, boy.
Looking pretty good.
There's like one person left
Are you
watching.
trying to separate?
Yeah, I'm
things
trying
from
to
the thing?
separate it.
Candy or are they just like plastic?
They're candy, I think.
No one
I
wants
know,
to eat them
well,
dry.
I bought real candy so people could do it.
Oh, really hard.
Was that just a...
Was that your tooth or the
tooth?
candy? Yeah.
Well, luckily it
Sell
was
double
candy, but
insurance, right?
it was close. There was a minute where I didn't know which was gonna crack first.
Oh, boy. My house is sort of...
I'm just gonna steal up. That's
Yeah,
where
go
your fish
for
and
it.
leave.
Take the fish.
What?
Yeah.
I'm out.
Leave it open.
Yeah,
you might want to.
yeah,
See
at
you
least-
later.
Most people are gone around here, so you won't.
Yeah, cool. It's probably good to keep
You know
it.
what?
It's very hot.
Screw them. It's holiday cheer. If they don't want holiday cheer,
Deal
tell
with
them
it.
they can talk to you.
They can talk to the Krampus man.
Well, they can
That's
talk to
right.
me for a little bit. I'm leaving soon.
Oh, yeah. That breeze is nice. Leave that open.
Who's Krampus? It's
Mm,
Mahon, right?
Yeah, Mahon.
Matt, oh, he starts off as Krampus.
He is.
Last year's Krampus. Starts off as
Oh, wait,
Krampus,
who-
but I
what-
don't,
oh,
it
did-
might be Mahan. I
Did
just-
it,
It
did
is
it end
Mahon,
that,
yeah.
Matt?
So they did end it with Mahan
Oh.
becoming Krampus.
Mhm.
How did Kyle lose it?
To Mahon, I guess.
It's a wheel.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Probably a wheel spin.
Probably.
It's a wheel spin.
That's
Mm.
how it happens, yeah?
Yeah.
That's, yeah, because wait, who was Krampus? Who started out as Krampus? And like
Mike
Kyle was
Sanchez.
like the first one to spin, right?
Yeah.
And he got Krampus.
And he was a good Krampus. I appreciated his Krampusing.
It was
Yeah,
the
yeah, no,
Krampus.
you gotta get into being a Krampus.
Yeah, you gotta relish the role.
Alright, Baron asks if we are off soon for the holidays. Well, a lot of us are, some aren't.
Yeah, I'm coming in tomorrow, and then Krampus happens, and then I won't come back until the new year.
There you go.
I'll be here more than that.
Me too. I'm taking up next Thursday.
This. What do you even have to do, Matt K?
A lot of things that I can't say because there's a microphone.
Oh, are you on one of the things?
I'm on a thing. I don't. It's best just to.
We make things here?
I mean, I'm trying to. Mostly I'm
make-
just fighting with source control and Jenkins servers. So you know.
That sounds like game dev, all right.
Half a game dev is fighting with source control.
The other half is fighting about source.
The other half is swearing at source control.
I'm really good at swearing at computers.
You
That's
are,
gonna-
Max. That's very true. Put that on your resume.
Oh,
A
one of my favorite.
Max effing Golden.
One of my favorite moments of hearing Max swear, I forget what it was.
Is it bad that you already have favorite moments?
I mean, it's on brand for me, I guess.
Like you were talking about some studio passing on you. You already decided to go to Schell Games. Do you
Yeah.
remember this?
I
You're like, you guys missed a boat.
they did.
But you know, I really cleaned it up because I don't swear very much. So, but it was very funny. Full of expletives.
Fun fact about that studio is they recently had layoffs like a
Oh,
couple of
no.
months back, so
That's not fun.
maybe I am the one who left out.
Hold on, I'm gonna
Yeah, maybe.
really warm in there. I'm gonna just.
That's actually with
Thanks.
two doors open. It's much better.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is good.
You got that airflow.
Oh, I got to feel
Ooh,
that.
feel that breeze.
It's nice.
That breeze though.
Yeah, so basically, Baron, you would yes and no. A lot of us are off, and a lot of us, you know, like coming in whenever no one's here so we can get work done.
Who does that though?
So productivity can happen.
Yep, this is. Thank you, Matt.
Oven.
No, it's not that bad.
Walk out here and then walk back in.
I mean, yeah, but it's not bad when you're.
It's the old like
Residual body.
We're
frog
used
and
to it
slowly
now. We've grown
eating up
accustomed
water,
to
which
the
is
heat.
all not a real thing anyway.
You don't know that. You can totally heat up a frog.
You'll notice when it gets too hot and leave.
That's why you put the lid on. Listen, I don't need to tell you how to cook
More
frogs.
disclosures, I'm biting Swedish fish in half for decorating purposes. So.
You've already told
You
us
should
not
just
to eat
tell us
any of
not
it.
to eat your house.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, if someone has a cold and they're making this house.
All right, this green is not
That would be
coming
terrible.
off fast
Yeah.
enough.
do you want my green?
Is your green good?
My green is much better than my red is.
So green.
All right. Yeah, give me the green. You're using my white, so swap around. Oh, it's not a lid on this. Neat.
Nope.
These leaves have directionality.
They
Oh,
do.
yeah, this is way
Yeah,
better.
make sure they're
Oh,
pointing
look
in the
at
right
that.
direction.
Bam.
Nice.
Oh no, my wreath
I'm
is
trying to do
done.
like random leaves.
Yeah, that's looking good, man.
It's really good.
This didn't take too
So-
long.
Yours too, River.
This
Dan's
white
like an artist.
frosting like refuses to
An
set.
artiste.
Yeah, I think mine might
Artisanal
be
house.
bad. Look at this. Look at
It
this.
is
It
very
just doesn't
crazy.
give it up on life.
Oh, I should. Oh,
No,
it's
how am
too
I
late
using
now?
it? It's fine. I needed it too hard.
Is it too soft now? Your hands are too warm?
Yes.
These are all melty.
Too needy. Ha 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 ha. That
You're a
was the
very
appropriate
needy
response.
person.
I like how no one else left.
That's when you know it's good.
Oh my god, putting Christmas Christmas lights on these houses is so tedious.
You can make a Christmas tree out of
Yeah, I wish I could automate this. That's the engineer part of me.
Yeah. What tool can I make?
It's gonna be a more effective process.
You know what? I like what's happening here. I'm gonna keep this going.
Yeah.
Oh, now I don't. There we go.
Changing
You're talking about the green in between?
Yeah.
Alright, nice.
It's gonna be some themes. There's gonna be a thing. It's gonna happen here. Manisha's green is way better than mine.
Yeah, you got stuck with the.
Good white,
Fun.
bad green.
So Baron, if you're still thinking about going to GDC, one of our people are speaking at GDC, Sean Patton.
Ooh.
He's talking about designing for VR across 6 different platforms, so that would be a good talk.
Is that in
Yeah.
VRDC?
Yeah.
Oh, also, if you're going to GDC, GDC is across 5 days. So be sure. So the first 2 days are summits and tutorials. That also includes VRDC,
Mm-hmm.
and then the last 3 days are main conference. So just make sure if you're interested in a particular session, you pay attention to which one is in which, because they are different tickets.
Yeah, that's a good.
And
Yeah.
if you're looking at the
Yeah.
prices can ratchet up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like when I last checked, it was like
Oh my.
$1,000 for just the main conference, and then like $1,500 for the main conference plus the summits.
Yep.
And then there's something like an all access pass, which is like $1,000. And these are all the pre-sale prices,
Mhm.
which go up later. Where did that come from? All right, what am I gonna do here?
You fell down?
All right, I know
It's
what
on
I'm
a roll.
gonna do.
Oh, my foundation shifted on this house.
No.
Oh, probably because it got so warm that it's very...
There's a big crack in this wall.
Oh no. This is not a.
Sorry, I'm just gonna glue this gingerbread.
But yours actually has a crack.
Oh, it did, yeah, it's cracking it.
Oh, that's great.
It's subtle crack.
It's fine.
You know, sometimes you see cracks in the wall. It doesn't mean the wall's gonna fall down.
So if you have a benevolent Krampus, if you carry that house around during Krampus, it might count as flair, right?
That's a very loose interpretation of flair.
Really, like, Krampus is the final word on what is flair, so you could have a Krampus that simply says everything's flair.
Let's have a Krampus pact right now. Any of us are Krampus. This house is flair.
Our memories of each other with these houses count as flair. Oh, Baron, what kind of effects pedals did you get? I love effects pedals.
I want Dan to be Krampus. I think that'd be hilarious.
I hate being Krampus.
Who would be Krampus?
I want Dan to be Krampus.
This Dan right here?
One of the most mellow people in the studio.
It's not gonna do anything. It's gonna be really boring.
Oh, I bet.
You never know, you could go crazy with power. Just
True.
snap. You're like, screw all of you people.
That's it, Krampus is over.
Could
I'll let
Krampus
someone else
be
Krampus gets all of the
Krampus?
good.
Yeah, that's right.
One of the
All
rules on
Krampus
that.
love the Krampus.
This is terrible. This is ruined it.
Which?
The reds.
Oh. No, yeah, those are bad.
Oh no, I got icing on my phone.
They needed to go somewhere though. I
Phone
got
needs to
wrapped
be
on it.
decorated.
Yeah,
think?
just
Could've
attach
ate
your
them.
phone to the house.
No, here, I'm gonna do this. Oh god. They're just gonna live right down here. Dog went out back.
You got any answers you might?
Boss ME, so it's a multi-effects, which is probably what ME stands for. That's cool.
I'm gonna use Swedish fish.
No one's saying you can't.
Lights. It's not making squirting noises. I feel like we need to
Yeah,
get
I don't like
a Tim in
this
here.
There we go.
There we go. Great.
No.
Sorry, I'll stop.
No, don't.
It's fine, Dan.
Because he's not Krampus yet.
He'll remember this one.
Does anyone need my? I'm not gonna need my decoration.
You're not gonna need. Why would you need it?
You're not gonna add a door to your house?
You need to. Why do I need a door?
How are you supposed to get inside?
The
I'm-
chimney.
Maybe I have some
He's not
ulterior
using the
plan.
chimney either.
Everything is going wrong here. I mean, that icing bag exploded.
Can't erase.
Hubris. Oh no, that is bad.
It's not good.
Just fill it in. You know.
Oh
Fuck
jeez.
no.
I was trying to make a tree here and then now I can't.
Just add holly leaves to it. Cover it up.
Your Baron says if he goes, his studio will be paying for him.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, nice. What studio are you with, Dan?
If you don't mind.
Yeah, unless you can't tell us, then you don't tell us. Unless you want to. I mean, that's
It's a
your
little
business.
indie called Blizzard Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Wait, what?
Blizzard Cleveland. It's what Ryan Hippel and Joe say when they cause a mess and, break things.
Bel-
Alright.
That's true.
Believe in the land.
Seen it happen.
Were you there for the Sean Patton table incident?
Sure was.
What?
What?
Sean Patton got thrown through a glass table. It's
Oh my
NBD.
god, what?
What was that?
I don't know, a GDC, I guess. Was it a GDC, Mike?
Yes.
Oh, was that is that in the Death Star?
No.
The
No.
Death Star, Other Ocean Internet.
It was in some club very close to Muscogee.
Other ocean.
Very fancy.
Very fan. Oh, was it in the
Is there a
W?
regular ocean interaction?
Yeah, I think it was.
It was
the
in
other
the W.
one?
Oh,
Broke a glass
I don't
table.
know.
oh, W is where like.
I mean, it wasn't us, just internet. It was, but we saw it happen.
Well, I heard stories.
W's are all the execs stay. No, that's true.
No, I believe it. That makes it funnier, though.
Yeah. It only
Does
adds
anyone
to
have
the.
Christmas lights not either?
Here, I've done all I can. Take them. They're yours.
Are you done with your house in general now?
This
No,
side
no.
should never be shown.
Is that an angel?
It's like a satanic thing.
You're
Like,
doing so well.
it sounds like carving.
I'm
like
trying to
marble
cover
figures.
up the excessive icing that didn't quite make it into a tree because my pipe bag
Oh,
broke.
I see.
Folks at home, if you haven't voted yet, I just want to show you. I'm really proud of this.
Whoa.
Oh,
Looks so
wow.
clean.
Santa Claus.
It's very creative.
That's,
Yeah,
That looks really good.
that's Mike. M-I-K-E. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
As opposed to Mike, the other Mike.
M-I-C.
M-Y-Q.
Mike, as in drop V.
Drop
Can I
body
use
mark.
the white again, or are you
No, go
using
for
it
it.
for stuff?
My hand is cramping, so.
Krampus. Man, you really went hard on this.
Sorry.
This feels significantly like.
So, I'll show if people. So this is my. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go with the weird.
Mr. Police, you could have saved her? What?
Wait, what?
What the heck?
I know what Mike's
That's
talking
a
about.
Yeah,
meme.
no one.
It's
Some
advertising for the Snowman.
It is a horrible
horror movie.
film.
Oh, the snowman. Yeah, yeah,
Capitalizing on internet humor.
Yeah, that's how you
See,
can go
Baron
from Mike.
says he can't see rivers. He might need close up on each.
Gotta
Oh.
tilt it a little bit.
Pretty good
more.
handwriting.
Forward the camera a little bit.
I'm afraid if I tilt it, it'll fall off.
A little bit more.
Sabotage!
So mean.
Listen, it'll be preserved on the VODs, right?
Yeah.
And it falls, and then Pete is furious at me. So.
Fine. Just tell him Mike did it of his own volition.
We have the video.
Yeah, that's right. We'll go to the tape.
Here, no, let's just play some copyrighted music so there won't be any audio.
There you go.
Then there'll be nothing to contradict my story except all of y'all.
Yeah, we
So
also.
Dwayne, are we gonna have a time where we all have to stop working and like hold them up to the camera?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give you guys maybe
That's pretty soon.
2 more minutes.
Oh, geez. I shouldn't have asked.
Right. 2 more minutes. Can we make it like 5 or 10?
Yeah, give,
All right,
it,
5.
give us
All right.
10 minutes.
5 minutes.
Okay.
7:07.
Mine's only getting worse, so I'm gonna stop.
It's only that. You're just eating candy and like making comments from here on out.
Yep, that's it.
Word.
That seems fair.
What is this?
That's a door.
It's a door
Yeah.
and eaves.
Oh.
Oh,
Is
for
that
wait.
what those are?
that's what we-
Yeah,
yeah,
those-
that's what we separated.
Anisha,
What is Eves?
is that Eves?
It's an awning, technically.
Awning.
Have you ever watched Bob Ross
Yes.
make houses?
What?
Are you using
Oh,
the rest of your
like the
life?
paint house. I was like,
I mean,
gingerbread
it's
houses?
Oh,
kind
my
of
God.
Gingerbread
exploded.
houses?
Draw a snowman, Mike.
Oh. Here, let me just finish up these trees.
Are you
I mean, you might be able to like use this napkin to
Why is it
Not
green?
worth it,
Not
though.
white?
Why is it green, not
That's
white?
pretty
Because
good.
white is hard to, the white is
Oh,
not
no.
fine enough.
Alright.
You could put on the little tip.
Yeah, you need
It's true.
a tip for someone.
No.
I got it, the
Here,
tip.
one
That is
for-
rough. Here, hold on. Let me just do this last.
Here, Anisha, take it.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Alright,
it's
fine.
completely pristine.
Whoa. Really liquidy.
Yeah, that's because I needed it for 2 to 3
He
minutes.
followed the instructions.
I didn't eat it.
Is there napkins somewhere?
Yeah.
Like, can you pass me
There
or
is.
just? Thank you. Gonna
Oh,
cover
this
up the
ice
sour
is
patch
so
Kids.
delicious.
I'm just protecting them from Anisha.
What?
Pure
Jokes, jokes.
You, I think you earned that icing.
All them yolks.
Eat a little icing.
Yeah, eat a little icing.
Ooh.
That was yolks, though.
Call me King Egg because I got yolks. No, don't. Sorry.
All right, King Egg, you got it.
No, I fell. Whatever.
Vote for King Egg.
See, Anisha's is looking good. Baron's inner gingerbread man craves symmetry.
No!
What happened?
Oh, the centerpiece to my wreath fell off.
No.
Okay.
So,
I'll figure something else out.
I think, okay, I'm done.
These ones are so misleading because they hold their shape, and then you go to squeeze it, there's nothing
I
in here.
know.
What?
These ones. They like seemingly hold their shape, but then you go to squeeze it, and there's nothing in there.
I was squeezing
What
mine
is
and it was
this?
like, I am not
What?
eating.
Oh, icicle.
This is way too
I'm just
fancy.
covered in sugar.
I'm trying to go faster.
Look at these art guys.
3 minutes.
Everyone's looks better than mine.
Oh no, my
That's only
Swedish
your
fish
pick-
is
that's only from your
slipping.
At the very end of the Great British Baking Show, where they're all piping furiously.
Piping.
Sorry.
What's piping?
That's exactly what you're doing. Tommy Pipe
Remember you could have saved her, Mr. Police. I gave you all the clues.
Boo.
That was just really surprising to see that.
It's good. I like the dead fish too.
You know, for a guy who's a good actor, Michael Fassbender sure appears in a lot of terrible films.
He was in the Assassin's Creed movie.
Oh.
Exactly.
Oh.
Oh wait.
That doesn't mean.
Oh my god, these are way too heavy. There's no way I can get this to stay
I
on.
You
know,
got
that's
this.
the
No?
problem.
You can keep
Then
them on
it
the
must
top.
be bad, because I know Assassin's Creed.
Oh,
Do you need here?
whoa.
I got goo.
Okay. this-
River went all out here too.
What in the?
It's very impressive.
It's also
Holy moly.
Does anyone need red and green icing?
No, I don't.
There's-
I mean, there's an entire new set inside the ugly sweaters.
Oh.
Can I make an ugly sweater cookie in 2 seconds?
Oh, can I have the red?
In 1 minute.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have a ton of red
Oh,
though.
okay.
Let's go.
I feel like this will
Alright,
actually.
Baron, not too many people are voting on Twitter, so we're gonna leave it up to you.
Baron is the judge.
Baron's the judge.
Remember, Mike, and Mike. We all win here.
You like half a mic at that.
I'm
Are
half
we,
a Mike.
are we
yeah.
gonna leave these out overnight?
We'll have to put them some.
Yeah, we have to put them.
Should we just choose random people's desks?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hold on.
You get one gingerbread house.
I know what
Or we
happens
can
here.
leave them on the,
We just leave them on the
Kitchen
kitchen.
island.
This is gonna be so
Probably
horrible. I feel like that's where we're going.
That's probably.
what's
You
up?
should put them all in Jesse's office.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the best place.
He'd like that.
Shell promotion done right.
Alright. Here's that.
I feel like I'm tempting fate here.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to remove it from the bottom.
707.
No.
Icing down.
No.
Icing down.
No, I refuse.
I refuse.
Hands up.
I refuse.
We don't have to
I refuse. We're not on a cooking show.
He's not bleeding yet.
Hands up.
He needs to bleed.
Come on, we're done. We're done.
You didn't say anything about feet.
That's right. Okay.
All right. While everyone's finishing up, we can start by
Yeah.
showing off.
Yeah, so we'll start from Mike Lee and we'll go around.
Let's start with the least serious entry. So here's
I
my.
think-
Alright, you can get up and get close to
Yep.
the camera so you can see.
So here's my. Here's my. The snowman fire. So as you can see, I was trying to do something pretty, and then I ended up realizing, man, all this red looks
I don't
like
know the Christmas slides. I figured this is how you get it.
So instead, we have our ransom note, we have the snowman.
I don't get it.
There's
Just Google that phrase.
There's nothing to get.
Just Google Mr. Police.
Okay. River.
Alright. This is the gingerman's house with the gingerman dropping from the wall because, I mean, it used to be upper in the wall, it just kept dropping. And on the other side, it's a bleeding house.
Wow.
That's very random.
I like
That
that.
was very unexpected.
Bleeding.
This is all so nice, and the house is bleeding.
Oh, have you guys seen the house that's
Alright,
exploding?
so Baron gave you some advice, River. He said good roof work on one side, but then you lost steam. Or was that
I
for
think
Mike?
that's for Mike.
There's time.
That's probably for Mike.
Time constraints.
Alright.
Alright,
here we go.
other Mike.
Alright, other mic. Alright, here I have a gingerbread house. This is Santa Claus's gingerbread house. Notice, is this good? Can you see
Yep,
it
yep,
well?
that's good.
There you go, that's good.
Santa Claus, Christmas trees, a present, snow, all the things that make Christmas go.
Good rhyme, good
I made
rhyme.
that rhyme.
Nice.
And then there's lots of
Oh,
lights on the
he's
roof.
falling down too. That's horrible.
And then on the back door I've got
This is good.
wreaths made of holly and icicle lights.
Lightsicles, we call those.
Lightsicles. Thank you.
I like it. Are you ready, Dan, or?
For whatever, I'll keep working on it after too.
Do you want me to go?
No, it's just the roof.
You gotta
man.
go up. You gotta go up.
Yeah, he wants
Alright.
to.
We're gonna need to vacuum this room.
I
Yeah.
really had no
He's
idea what to
gonna
do,
kill
so
us.
Yeah,
I
it's a
just
big- it's a big
draw
mess.
patterns. And then I guess holly.
Oh, look at those ice. Look at the little
Yeah.
snow.
Icicles.
The icicle.
But I haven't really done anything with the walls.
So yeah,
Bearded Mike has gingerbread house game.
the artist ones looks good.
Thank you, Baron.
Alright.
Alright, next is Chris.
I think there's some loose stuff on here, might fall on the way. We'll try not to make that happen.
Best
Okay. Going this way.
You're one of the few ones. You and Mike are the only ones who did decorate the floor, though.
All right, so
Yeah, I didn't get there.
this is my concoction of stuff. We're gonna start on this side of the roof. We have, obviously, this is Santa. Definitely not Squid Man with weird eyes. This is a Christmas tree, and then we got Gingerbread Man hanging out up here, leaning against a good old chimney. And we'll come back around to this side here. Got some Christmas lights, some Christmas trees for lights. Peppermint candies on top, M&M garnish on top of the
M&M garnish
on the chimney here. If we come around back, this is where all the mistakes happen. I don't know what this is. These attempted to be cover-ups for that, but now they're bushes. Got another gingerbread guy over here. Then there's some front with yeah, this is something. I don't know, bleeding windows, some garland, and this is I think a door.
Oh, okay.
Bleeding windows, bleeding
There,
doors.
There's
gonna
also
Christmas Day.
dog poop on the side here. This
Forevermore.
is from yeah, dog went out back. Okay.
Oh.
Yep.
Dan,
Alright, Max.
Dan, are you gonna use this?
If you want to use it,
No,
I want to eat it.
if you want to eat it. you can.
Actually, no. I'll take my gingerbread man.
Whoa, you're
Right next to
I think that's Rivers.
Yeah, that's
Probably
right.
fine. I have one extra one, so.
Oh,
she won't
okay.
have to put it.
All right, this is my house. Here you can see the chimney.
Yeah.
Can we see this?
Yeah, a little bit higher.
Yeah, a little bit higher.
A little bit lower. Lower. Low. Right. Right there. Perfect. Right there.
So here's the chimney. As you can see, it's slipped a little bit. There's an arrow pointing at it, so Santa knows where to land.
Aw.
That's the cannon
Some
I'm gonna
prep
make
and
for
landing
that
stuff right
design.
there. That's cute.
On the back, as you can see, trees, tiny trees, because
Guys, you can't see it. Just a tad higher. There you
Okay.
go. Right there.
Santa's afraid of large trees. People don't know this, so you'll need the real small ones to entice him. That's why when he sees a big tree inside of your house, he like leaves immediately. So here,
After dropping offerings at your feet.
here is, I'm going to call him, what's that one elf? Legolas. This is Legolas. Because he's got no legs.
What?
So he's an elf.
Like Legolas?
Listen, okay, there's not a whole lot.
I get that.
This is really lore head, okay? Anyway, someone is stringing up tinsel, I guess. I don't know what tinsel is. I guess that is. This is vaguely Christmas tree shaped up
Yeah, I can
top.
grab. I can.
You can see
Whatever
the
you do, I'll
lights.
take your seat.
They're doing their best. And here is
What
the
is
traditional,
going on?
the traditional sacrifice to, like, I mean, if you don't have, like, you're just the worst child in the year, Santa will know that you're, like, keeping the bad kids there. They won't be able to give gifts to the good ones. That's what they said in my house.
There's your winner.
Anyway, so that's the best I could do.
This is like
Very
some
good.
creepy pre-elf on the shelf sort of stuff.
Oh, Lannister on the banisters. The new thing.
Emotional
It's a really
elves
great
are the
chimney.
only way to celebrate the holiday.
Oh no!
Thank you, Pro Carbine.
That's what I get.
Pros here, look at that.
All right.
Last but not least, Anisha.
Oh no!
All right. I did something very boring here. Can I see this?
Just a little higher.
Okay, a little bit higher.
Yep, that's good.
Right there,
Alright.
that's good.
So I went sort of traditional with mine, I guess. I've got a little holly wreath with some centerpieces
thinking.
there, lots of lights surrounding my house. I guess all of these windows are decorated. with
Oh, you got
holly
the
going.
the door.
Whoa.
That's what that was for.
And the top has mint pieces with Christmas lights on that too. So minimalist, I guess, compared to everyone else's. But
Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I stayed in scope.
All right, so
that's
Baron.
right. I did skate and scope.
I did hurt.
Baron, it looks like you have help with Pro Carbine if you guys want to.
No, pro is disqualified.
Talk.
Yeah.
But all right, Baron has us.
The winner.
Oh, the suspense.
I'm not. The gingerbread is not that good.
I was gonna say everybody.
It's not great.
No,
better
it's
not.
not great.
It's old. Like it's.
Anisha,
you're the mic. That's
Woo!
Hey.
Yes.
Traditional Christmas wins every time.
That's right.
All right.
Thanks, Max. Just keep going forever.
So that about wraps up. Do we have any? Oh, honorable mention for the icicle roof.
Oh, that's good.
Want to see it when finished.
Yeah,
Is he
I'm-
still
I'm
working on it?
sorry,
Well, he's
Dan.
disqualified anyway, Baron. So
Because he's an artist.
no, because he didn't
that's
put
so
it down
pretty,
at 7:07.
Well,
Oh, well, I didn't
because
put
he's an
mine
artist,
down
he
either.
can't stop.
So
I
then,
guess Mike T wins.
so Mike T wins.
Mike
Oh,
too.
nice.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
So Mike T's the winner. Thank you, Baron. Thank you, Pro Carving, for helping us out. For the rest of you on the feed, thank you for checking us out. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We haven't set a date for our January term yet, because we're trying to decide if we're going to stick on Thursdays or if we're going to move to another day. We'll send that information out. Thank you so much for staying with us. We love doing Dinner with the Devs. We're having fun with it. And we hope to see you guys next month. So thank you very much, guys.
Yep, thanks.
Bye.
That's all.
Wait,
All right.
what can we do?
We have to clean up.